Hello and welcome to the 7th video in the JavaScript for A2 IT series. Going to be looking at actually using selection this time in our web applications, or using selection to manipulate the DOM in some way, shape or form. This is very common. It's the kind of thing that you will get asked to do in the examination, and if you're a hobbyist JavaScript enthusiast, the kind of thing you will do a lot in your applications. It's worth knowing. To show you how this works, I've just taken two things that you're likely to do. There are plenty more sort of uses for selection, but two of the most common things you're likely to encounter are presence checks, i.e. checking that something is there, and also conditional messaging, which is when, based on data in your application, based on inputs, or other data lurking around, you will display different messages. And there's loads and loads of uses for this. So let's just get on with it, and I will show you the program we're going to make. Oh, I went past it. Here we are. So I've made another template. It looks a little bit like this. Just to talk you through the template, we have an empty div that will display error messages. We have an input field text box called username. We have an input field called friend that will take a friend code, and we have a button called submit that will call our function and do all the selection for us. I've got an onClick event here that does nothing yet, but we'll add a function to that later. And then we also have a div for message that will display whatever message is depending on the input we get. So this starts the same way as every program we've ever made so far. I'm going to create a function that will be attached to the onClick event. And this function is going to be called createAccount because it matches the text in my button. We're not actually creating an account, but it matches, so it doesn't really matter. You can call your functions whatever you like. And we're going to be accessing some content from our document. We're going to get element by ID. The ID I want to get is, we're going to get the username from the text box. And we're also going to get the friend code from the text box. And because these are inputs, we access them slightly differently. It's no longer text content we need the value. And similarly, and any input control you use will have a value assigned to it. When we use drop-down boxes, when we use radio buttons, when you use checkboxes, they'll all have values, and you access values from inputs the same way for everything. Just to show you this working, we'll store these in a variable just to make it nice and tidy. So var un equals document, and var friend equals map. Just to show you this working, I can do an alert that will display un plus friend. And on my onClick event, I will just attach my function. Create account. God, my spelling is awful. So is my keyboard use actually. Anyway, so we've bound this event to the this function to the onClick event. So when we click our account, it will display the contents of this and this. So let's just see that working so you know it actually does. And so I know it does, so this isn't a bad example. So username is 123, friend code is 456. So we should get a pop-up box that says 123, 456. And we do. So that's working, the event's working, and we can get these values. So the next thing we need to do is actually use our selection. So our first concern was a presence check. So we want to make sure this box has been populated. If it hasn't been populated, we want to tell them that they need to put something in there. So if un is equal to nothing, then we want to display a message that says, we display a message in the error box. Sorry, I was typing document there, that doesn't make sense. By ID, we want to display an error, and it's going to be the text content of error, which equals username must not be blank. You could use any of your logical operators here. Sorry, this one. You could have not equal to, you could have greater than, less than, whatever. But depending on the program you're making, I'll just do code view for now. So the username must not be blank. And else, we will just log bleh to the console, just so you see it works. There's an error on line 26, which means I have forgotten to close my function. There. Okay, so we save that. I just press Control S. We go to sign up, refresh it. So if I type in nothing here, it displays an error. If I type in a valid value, oh, done. There's my console there. If I click here and type in blah, 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 create an account, it says bleh, so that's working too. The next bit is a little bit more complicated. So, well, not really, we're using the same method, but where we're putting it is in a slightly unusual place. So, if you don't enter a username, we don't want to bother checking the friend code, because if they don't have a username, they don't have a friend. It's not explicitly explained, but in my program, in the logic of the program, it makes sense that way. So we only want to check the friend code if they access this else statement. So we'll just nest it in here. So if friend spelled correctly, friend is equal to, and we're checking if they're my friend. We're also going to check if they are, oh sorry, I'm doing exactly equals, I don't want that. It should be equal equal. We're also going to check if they are Bob's friend. So if it's my friend or if it's Bob's friend, we will display a message. We won't display it to console, we will document get element by ID, and we will get we're looking for the message. Text content equals hello friend. Just for the sake of it, just to show it happening, we will add an else if. And we will get, same idea, friend equals nothing. We will say exactly the same thing here. So we will say a message, you have no friends. That's sad. And finally, this program's not particularly useful, by the way, but you get the idea. Else, we will do in the third message that says, oh, that's not my friend. Okay, and this else closes this. This closes this one. And this closes this. So if we type in Kevin or Bob, it'll say hello friend. If we say you have no friends, if we type in no friend, it'll say you have no friends, that's sad. And if we say anything else, it'll say that. So let's just test this works. So I have a browser tab open here. Refresh it. So first of all, create an account. It cannot be blank. Then this time I type in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and my friend is Kevin. It will say hello friend. If I type in nothing, it'll say you have no friends, that's sad. And if I type in Bilbo, it will say that's not my friend. One thing here, we're never ever refreshing this, so the error message is always there. It's worth having, just to tidy it up, in this else statement, we can assign username back to blank. Save that. Oh, it's already open. So we refresh this. Username is nothing. We try again. Bob 123. It's not my friend. If we do a friend code and nothing. Oh, wait a minute. We never refresh the friend code either. But if we enter a friend code with nothing, we get the username blank message. There. And that's two sort of simple uses of selection. Next video we will look at iteration, and then I'll do another short video showing you how iteration is used in programs. And thank you very much. I will see you next time.